Good evening, good evening. Keep pounding, nation. It's been a while. It's been a good while. Welcome to a brand fresh, new Carolina Panthers Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. My name is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've done one of these, but you know what? It's getting closer and closer to the start of preseason. We know that training camp has already gone underway. And then, before you know it, week one of the regular season will have begun. So, the time has come to get excited, get hyped. The 2024-2025 season is right around the corner. But I wanted to get on here and talk about a couple of things. I wanted to get caught up on a couple of transactions that have taken place. I know, like I said, it's been a while. So I want to go over a few players that the Carolina Panthers have picked up and just kind of talk a little bit about what I'm expecting, what I'm hopeful for this season. So let's go ahead and jump into some player transactions. I know there have been quite a lot that have taken place. I know if we go all the way back as far as middle of July, we know that Jonathan Brooks, running back Jonathan Brooks, was placed on non-active or active non-football injury list, which of course, you know, he's still recovering from that torn ACL. But also linebacker DJ Wonnum, offensive tackle Yosh Nijman, linebacker Amari Barno, and wide receiver Jalen Coker were on the active, physically unable to perform list early in the middle of July. But then eventually Jalen Coker was able to come off of that list. Same sort of deal with wide receiver Cam Sims and cornerback Charles Smith-Wade. Charles Smith-Wade eventually came off of the active, physically unable to perform list. So, player signings. Let's see. So, first off, signed a wide receiver, Deven Thompkins, after a workout. Deven Thompkins. So let's see. 5'8", 155 pounds, 24 years old, played out of Utah State. This is his third season. So, pretty small guy for a wide receiver, but this is his third season, and right now, as of last season, he has 22 catches for 115 yards receiving, 1 touchdown, 885 return yards. So, apparently, he was very productive during his time at Utah State. Caught 102 passes for 1,704 yards and 10 touchdowns as a senior. And apparently he also ran a 4.35 40 at his pro day. Speedster. A speedster. Let me see. But yeah, only played in 5 games in 2022, but played in 17 in 2023. I'm curious to see. Okay. Yeah, pretty much his best year in college was in his senior year. Did a little bit of something his sophomore year with 40 catches, 536 yards, 4 touchdowns. But definitely for sure his senior year was his best. So, I don't know. I mean, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But it's another wide receiver to look at. I know the Panthers have been looking at a lot of wide receivers. Got some depth there. So came into the league undrafted. But he does have some experience under Coach Dave Canellis, especially back in Tampa Bay. So he's a familiar face for Dave Canellis. So, it is what it is. And he also returned punts and kicks for the Bucs. So it could be somebody that could end up being one of our special teams guys. Which, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So we'll see how that goes. Alrighty. Let's see. Oh, and to make room for him, they ended up waiving defensive tackle Popo Almave. So that was in order to make room for him. Okay. Let's see. There were some more signings that took place as well. So a handful of folks. Linebacker Kemoko Turay, tight end Feleipe Franks, cornerback Kiondre Thomas, and another wide receiver, Devin Carter. Let's start with Kemoko Turay. Interesting name. Kemoko Turay. 6'5", 250 pounds, 29 years old. Played college at Rutgers. He was actually a second-round pick back in 2018. Has spent time with the Indianapolis Colts for 4 seasons and then 1 season with the San Francisco 49ers. Looks like perhaps his best season may have been 2021 with the Colts. 9 tackles, 5.5 sacks. Originally from Montclair, New Jersey. But, he had a really good redshirt season in college with 24 tackles, 8 for loss, and 7.5 sacks, even though he didn't start any games. And was named to the freshman All-American team. After his senior season, he was invited to the 2018 Senior Bowl. So sounds like you did a little something in college. Nice. Has a little bit of an injury history. In 2019, he had a broken ankle. Took him out for the whole season. That was really the last significant injury he had. But, I mean, he does have some experience. To this day, 34 total tackles, 12 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery in the NFL. I mean, there's definitely potential there. But, hey, more depth at that linebacker position. So, hey, I don't hate it. Tight end Feleipe Franks, which is a familiar name. Feleipe Franks, 6'6", 228 pounds, 26 years old, out of Arkansas. I do remember he played with the Atlanta Falcons. That's why I remember hearing the name. That was a very familiar name. But not really a lot of stats to him. Played in 11 games with Atlanta, but no stats. Was targeted twice, but didn't really do anything. So I don't know if this is just somebody that we're, trying out or just looking into, but let me see what he did in college. What did he do in college? Okay. He did a little something something in college. So he started off at the University of Florida, so he was a Florida Gator first. Had a really whopping season in 2018. Oh, he played quarterback. Interesting. So he played quarterback. Interesting. Wait a minute. Why is he a tight end now? Interesting. So now he shifted to tight end? What the heck? Okay. He has 1 pick, no touchdowns. This is interesting. I mean, it seemed like he had a decent time in college. I mean, especially 2018. 58.4 completion percentage, 2,457 yards, 24 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Not bad at Arkansas either. 68.5% completion, 2,107 yards, 17 touchdowns, 4 picks. Dang, why? So, wait a minute. They just gave up on him? They just gave up on him at the quarterback position? Okay, this is kind of... Okay, now I'm very, very curious. Why was he moved to tight end? Well, I guess I'm just really shocked because his numbers in college were pretty dang on good as a quarterback. Oh, apparently when he had his first shot as a Falcon back in 2021, he threw his first pass was picked off. Dang. Dang, so they just gave up on him at quarterback just after that 1 pick? Well, dang. I really don't know what to say there, y'all. I mean, I understand they're dealing with Tommy Tremble that's nursing a hamstring injury, but really? Like, I don't know how I feel about that signing. Looking at that, I don't know how I feel about that signing. I really don't. I don't know how I feel about that signing. Ugh. Anyway. Cornerback Kiondre Thomas was another pickup. Kiondre Thomas, 6 feet tall, 186 pounds, 26 years old, out of Kansas State. This is first, well, he's played a little bit with the Chargers. Only 1 tackle, and a fumble recovery, so not really much stats out of him. But it looks like he's been on practice squads for the most. He's played in the UFL as well. Let me see. Did he... In college, so he played at Minnesota. He was a Golden Gopher for first 3 years, and then he went to Kansas State for his senior year. Only had one pick in college, 2019 with Minnesota. So I mean, he's got a decent number of passes deflected, but I guess another depth piece for the most part. But nothing really that jumps out to me. You know what I mean? Let's see. And then, let's see. Then Devin Carter, who apparently played at NC State and West Virginia. Is a wide receiver. 6'3", 214 pounds. Oh, he's from Clayton, North Carolina. Oh, nice. Okay. No stats on him though. It's kind of unknown. But more wide receiver depth, that is. But hey, North Carolinian, gotta root for him. But in order for them to make room for these players, they ended up putting wide receiver Cam Sims on the PUP, the physically unable to perform list. And they ended up waiving safety Clayton Isbell, offensive tackle Christian Duffy, and wide receiver Sam Pickney. So made some moves there. It was also brought to their attention the retirement of running back Rashad Penny. Well, felt like that didn't take long. So, yeah, even though he's known Dave Canellis for a long time, especially back when he was with Seattle. But dang, retiring at age 28. Wow. But 45 games, ran for 1,951 yards and 13 touchdowns. Well, it's his decision. But in the midst of that, to fill his roster spot, they ended up picking up another wide receiver, Tayvion Robinson, undrafted rookie from Kentucky, who recently participated in Ravens camp. Tayvion Robinson, 5'10", 191 pounds, from Virginia Beach, Virginia, played college at Kentucky. Let's see. Oh, actually, before I finish with Kavion, let me go back to Devin Carter, because I was actually able to pull up his college stats. So let me backtrack just a little bit. Devin Carter was at NC State from 2018 to 2022, then played one season at West Virginia. Looks like his best season was 2021 with NC State. 31 catches, 556 yards, 6 touchdowns. Only 12 touchdowns in his college career, 10 of them all with NC State. So, he gets a good average 16, 17 yards per catch. So that's not bad. That's not bad. Who knows? Maybe he can be a yak man. I don't know. Okay. Now back to Tayvion Robinson. Or Tayvion Robinson, I'm sorry. So, first 3 years in college with Virginia Tech before switching to Kentucky in 2022-2023. Had some pretty solid seasons with West Virginia and Kentucky. Almost got 600 yards receiving. He was close. Had 592 in 2020, 38 catches, 3 touchdowns. Got a decent number of catches, though. And he has experience with kickoff and punt returns. So, could be another person that may compete for a spot on special teams. He did get a punt return touchdown in college with Virginia Tech. So, man, like I said, looking at a lot of wide receivers. So, don't be surprised. Looking at a lot of wide receivers. Okay. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, yeah. And then they picked up another running back not too long after the retirement of Rashad Penny. A running back by the name of Dillon Johnson. Dillon Johnson. Dillon Johnson. Let's see. "23 years old, 6 feet tall, 217 pounds. It's from Greenville, Mississippi. Played college at Mississippi State and at Washington. And I think word was he played in the championship game with Washington. Let's see. Second team All Pac-12. As a matter of fact, had a pretty phenomenal season with Washington. 233 carries, 1,195 yards, 16 touchdowns. Yeah, dude definitely did a little something. But yeah, and apparently second year Mississippi State had 65 catches, 422 yards and a touchdown. Looks like the dude's got good hands as well. Okay. All right. Looks like this Dillon Johnson might have been a good pickup. I mean, and then again, he played in the championship game. Okay. A little bit of running back competition. I don't mind. I'm down. I'm hip with it. Unfortunately, so I was pretty bummed when I heard about this. Unfortunately, safety Sam Franklin ended up breaking his foot, and word is he actually got waived. He actually got waived from the roster. Was really a bummer because he was a really great special teamer for Carolina, and he was actually he got his feet wet in the starting lineup as well a couple of times. And not only that, I know I know there was only a very few number of times that he got to start, but he at least worked his way in as backup safety and actually got reps and not just on special teams. But special teams was where he shined the brightest. And it's a bummer, too, because last year he had that really big 99-yard pick six. But, yeah. Just sucks to hear. Really, really sucks to hear. But hopefully he gets well soon. I don't know what's next for him. Because like I said, heard word is that he got waived. So, really unfortunate piece of news. Another thing I wanted to talk about as well. So, I wanted to talk about kind of like my expectations or what I'm really hoping to see with this team. And like I said, Carolina Panthers preseason game, their first preseason game will be, as a matter of fact, on August 8th, which is next Thursday, August 8th, against New England, the Patriots. So, it's right around the corner, y'all. Right around the corner. And then, of course, we open up the regular season on the road against the New Orleans Saints. Then the first home game will be week 2 against the Los Angeles Chargers. Okay. So, a couple of things. One, I'm going to go ahead and mention this. According to an article on ESPN, 2024 NFL betting. So, the over-under for the Carolina Panthers, as far as number of wins for this season, 5.5. And it says here, this is one I'll probably stay away from because the number is so sharp, but if I had to lean to one side or the other, I'll be the optimist and lean over 5.5. I'm a big believer in what new coach Dave Canellis will do for Bryce Young in this offense. Carolina plays in an unimposing NFC South. I don't think this is a playoff team by any stretch of the imagination, but I think they can move from 2-14 to 6-11 in 1 year. So 5-6 wins. Okay. Let me start off by saying this. Couple of things that I'm really going to be watching out for. Number one, Dave Canellis. Now, I've talked to some folks. You know, there's some that are really hyped, others not so much sold on Dave Canellis. I'll say this. First off, I love his attitude. I love how he's taking all of this in and how he's been working with the players, the staff. I love his overall demeanor and attitude. And it really says a lot when you are having your first head coaching gig. Excuse me. Your first head coaching gig on a team that had the worst record last season. Not to mention, with this being an offensive-minded head coach, what did Carolina struggle in the most? Offense last season. They were abysmal. They were at bottom of the barrel. So that's a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure on Dave Canellis. And not to mention, and I said this before, Unfortunately, not all coordinators transition to head coaches very well. I hope for the best for Dave Canellis, but I'm not going to set that big of an expectation on him for his first time as a head coach, his first season as a head coach. Yes, I understand he's coming from the Pete Carroll coaching tree. I get that. That's awesome. That's credible. But still, I'm not going to get too crazy with this because it is his first season as a head coach. Not as a coordinator, as a head coach. There's a difference. I'm just saying. On that note, let's talk about the offense. This is the area that I am really hoping is one of the main sides of the ball that improves the most. And I'm just hoping that with the protection that they got for Bryce Young and the weapons that they got for him, that the turnaround will start this season with this offense. It's got to. It's got to. Otherwise, it's going to be another season with Bryce getting destroyed and the offense looking abysmal. Staying healthy. Avoiding the injury bug is going to be very key for this team. I understand you can't predict injuries. They can happen at any point in time. But the only thing we can hope for is that everybody can stay healthy and that injuries won't be frequent with this team. And with that, I truly believe the depth of this team will be greatly tested this season. It's going to be greatly tested. I just have that feeling. Because the last couple of seasons, Carolina hasn't really been able to have a lot of luck avoiding key injuries. But I'm really hoping that this will be different. But I really want to see the depth of this team challenged. It's the only way that they're going to get better as a whole. I mean, our top players, they're going to do their thing, but I really want to concentrate on the depth of this team, the rotational players, because I think they are going to be greatly tested. Defense, I really just want to see more consistent pass rush. We were very much lacking in the pass rush last season, so I really hope that gets taken up a notch this season. And then again, you know, with how Derek Brown has been doing, and you add in a Jadeveon Clowney, I mean, I expect that to really help this defense. Can J.C. Horn stay healthy? Can he make it through a season? You know, many other things like that. But as far as record, I'll say this. If Carolina can somehow get to at least 7 wins, then I think that's good progress. I think that's good progress. Now, if they can get 10 or more, then they are way over schedule. But I think realistically, if they can get up to 7 wins, I think it's a win. Because, like I said, it's not very well known for a team with that bad of a record to just bounce back like that. Especially in this scenario when you're going to have a completely new offense and somebody as head coach for the first time, not just for the team, but for the first time in general. And like I said, that's a lot of pressure. That is a lot of pressure. So, But that's really some of the things that I'm really just concerned about and going to be keeping an eye out for. Because, I mean, when you really think about it, I mean, there are games on the schedule that are winnable. There are games on the schedule that are winnable. So, we'll just have to see what happens. We'll have to see if Ike Ekwonu can bounce back from a slump of a sophomore season. Had a promising freshman year with the league. Promising rookie year. I need to correct my terminology. He had a promising rookie year. Had a pretty bad second year. I want to see if he can really bounce back. Austin Corbett transitioning back to center. Want to see how he can do with that. Can Miles Sanders have a bounce back year? That's another thing. I know right now Chuba Hubbard's the number one, but I want to see if he can bounce back. I'm very curious to know when Jonathan Brooks will be able to get playing time, when he'll be able to be 100% and ready to go. I want to see which wide receivers are going to break out along with Adam Thielen. I want to see how this offensive line holds up. Taylor Moton, Ike Ekwonu with the new pieces. I need to see if they can bounce back. The D-line, I need to see good pass rushing along with run stopping. I felt like the run stopping for the most part was decent, but pass rush didn't really do too well. So I'm really hoping a lot of that gets fixed. And if anything, just really want the offense to be aggressive and to get points, touchdowns. Make things easier for the defense. But I want the defense to be able to get continuous pressure on the quarterback. Because the thing we were definitely lacking last season is takeaways. We were greatly lacking takeaways. So, that's another thing that'll greatly help us to win games. But, like I said, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to, getting preseason going and underway. 3 preseason games, against New England, the New York Jets, and Buffalo Bills. And then week 1, regular season, September 8th. It'll be here before you know it, y'all. Get ready, get hyped, get pumped. But yeah, that's all that I got for this video. Don't forget to check out Game Beauty when you get a chance. And let me know what y'all think about the recent additions. I'll also list them in the description. But yeah, let me know what you think about the additions. And what are your expectations? What are you hoping for the Carolina Panthers for this season? And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell while you're at it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's good to be back talking Carolina Panthers football. Yeah. For another Carolina Panthers talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the YouTube the Tube. My name is Jason Ingram. Y'all have a blessed evening, and I will see y'all in the next video and our live stream. And keep pounding. Later.